What is the value chain? The value chain. That's what we're going to be talking about today. It is one of the most important part after your value proposition. It is the most important part of your business. So we're going to break down the value chain today. All right, stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of the Tremain Show. I'm Tremain Davis, and today we're going to be talking about the value chain. So what is the value chain? It may or may not be a term that you as an entrepreneur may have ever heard of, but I can guarantee you it is the most important part of your business outside of your value proposition. And we've talked a lot about value proposition, which is what is your customer? Or who is your customer? What problem are you solving for that customer? And then the third part of the value chain, of course, is what end of the value spectrum, the price spectrum, are you going to price your products and services? So are you going to be on the higher end of the price spectrum, meaning that you're unique or you have something differentiated, or are you going to be on the lower end of the price spectrum, which means that you're a low cost provider? So that's your value proposition. After you figured out your value proposition, the value chain is literally where all the value is. This is right in the name. So value chain is basically how you're going to accomplish your value proposition. So once you've established who the customer is, what problem you're solving, once you've established that, then you have to pivot to your value chain, which explains how you're going to get from point A to point B. So how you're going to get from an idea all the way over to delivering that product or that service or that idea to that end customer. That's your value chain. Everything in the middle makes up your value chain. So how you go from here to there. And so the value chain is broken down into 5 distinct pieces. There are really 8 of them, but 3 of them are supporting. I really just talk about the main 5, which is inbound logistics, outbound logistics operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and then you have after sales service or service. And that's the 5 areas of the value chain. Everything in business can be located in one of those 5 areas. So generally, if somebody has a problem with their business, it's either found in the value proposition, something is not quite right with the value proposition, or it's going to be found in the value chain. I've made a whole video about what's wrong with my business, and I talk about how your business can be broken down into basically those 2 areas. There's a third area called your business model, and I'll do a whole nother video about that. But those are really the main areas. So the value chain is literally the differentiator between every business. Even businesses that are in the same industry are broken down differently based on what they do in the value chain. So how do they bring their products or their services to market is all found in the value chain. That's your operation. That's everything that's in the middle. That's all of the ingredients. That's all of the you know how somebody that's a cook may have a secret ingredient or something that's been passed down to the generations. Like, now we do this one special little thing that we put in our batter, and that's what makes our cake so delicious. And so a cake maker, could be in the market with hundreds of other cake makers, but their cake is specifically different because of something they do in the value chain. One ingredient that they add in the value chain to bring their recipe to market, their recipe to their clients as an end product or end cake or cupcake or whatever it is. So the value chain is literally that for every single businesses. Don't get so caught up in the 5 areas that I've broken down, like I said, which is inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, sales and marketing, and service. Those are the 5 areas, but that's university speak. I teach at Howard University and also teach at the local community college. I teach entrepreneurship in both of those places. I also speak all around the country and have my first book coming out talking about business strategy. But don't get so caught up in the specific university terms, inbound, outbound logistics, those type of things. Just think of your value chain as stuff coming in one end and stuff going out the other end. So how does that process work? If you have a service business, it's something going in one side and something coming out the other. Even if it's intellectual property, even if it's just research and development, whatever it is, something's going in and something's coming out. What does that process look like? That's your value chain, and that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else who's doing this. Even if they're doing the same thing that you're doing in the same industry, everybody has a different value chain. Now, if somebody tries to replicate your value chain, they're going to always come into a problem because there's something that you're doing in your value chain that just makes you a little bit different. I mean, even if you just have a t-shirt company, a car wash, I mean, any business, you know, it doesn't have to be high level business. Amazon, Microsoft, I mean, those businesses have a value chain, and that's definitely sets them apart as well. But even local businesses, you know, something's in the value chain that sets them apart. You know, if you're a t-shirt company, are you getting your t-shirts from Central and South America? You know, they're known to have better cottons, you know, and materials to make t-shirts and things like that. Or are you getting them from Canada? Are you getting them from Utah? I mean, where are you getting your material? So two t-shirt companies could have two totally different processes for how they're delivering that t-shirt to the end customer. They could be sourcing their products from different places, which could mean that the end product for one company could be a little bit more higher quality than another, than the next company. And so that's what I'm talking about when I say the value chain. That's all of the secret sauce. That's all of the stuff in the middle that makes up your business. So after you have your value proposition established, move into the value chain. How are you actually delivering that idea? After you have their value proposition, how are you delivering that? How are you taking that, packaging that up, and delivering that to your end customer? And that's what's going to make up your value chain. Your value chain makes up all the difference. You know, whether you're an attorney starting a law firm, whether you are, like I said, a baker opening up a bakery or have a catering company, it doesn't matter. There's a value chain, something that you're doing. What is the process that you're doing to deliver your products and services to your customers? And like I said, the 5 parts of the value chain, and I'll make a whole other video breaking these parts down a little bit more, but the inbound logistics, there's operations, there's outbound logistics, there's sales and marketing, and then there is services. Sales and marketing, and I love this part of it, sales and marketing is just one piece of the value chain. But of course, sales and marketing these days has really been blown out of proportion. There's so many gurus and so many videos, so many trainings by my course of people trying to teach how to grow your social media following, how to market your product, all of that type of stuff. That's one small piece of a much larger thing called your value chain. And that's what a lot of people who don't know strategy, they mistake, you know, business strategy for marketing and branding, but that's just really one small part of a much bigger engine that you should be building as far as your business is concerned. All right, as usual, like, subscribe, share. Please send this information to every entrepreneur that you know. We need to get it out there so that we can have more successful businesses and increase the likelihood of more successful businesses in our communities. All right, I'm Tremain Davis, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. This video is brought to you by Davis & Davis Investments and Management, a full-service business solutions firm. So whether you need one-on-one business coaching or training, or whether you need business strategy development, or if you just need to learn how to shoot professional videos from your iPhone so you can move some of your content online, we've been helping businesses win for over 10 years. So click the link below, grab your free consultation to see if we're the right fit for you.